Yo, what's up, yo? So it's Boom, and I really wasn't even going to make this video, to be honest with you, because I like doing when I talk about deep about the real estate stuff, I like being inside of my properties. But what we're going to be talking about right now is Airbnb versus the VRBO. So a lot of people do Airbnb. I don't do Airbnb anymore. I used to, but now I switched to a VRBO model, which is pretty much like midterm. People on Airbnb stay for like a day or two or three or maybe a week. VRBO, people stay for at least 30 days. They stay for 6 months, maybe even a year. But the VRBO units that I have, they're all full because people are in them. So I can't tour you one of them because people are in them. So I said, I wasn't gonna do it. And I said, you know what? Let me just go ahead and talk about this. I just finished up shooting some other content. So let me squeeze this in. I actually gotta go, but I want to talk about this before I actually leave. So a couple reasons why I did VRBO. Switch from Airbnb to VRBO because in Philadelphia, they actually made it to where you now have to get a limited lodging license. So when people are staying at your places for a limited short amount of time and they're not actually tenants there, they're not actually living there and different things like that, you had to get this license, which is a couple thousand. It's a whole, I don't even want to get into it. It's a whole procedure, whole process, but I didn't want to do that. However, if people staying at your place for 30 days or more, that is allowed. And what Airbnb did was if you didn't have the license to upload it to Airbnb shuts your account. You couldn't even book any more stays. It shuts you down from even accepting any more stays. So that's how that kind of ended for me with Airbnb. Also, I saw a decline in the Philadelphia area with the Airbnb. Everybody has different results. Everybody has different things, but for me, it just wasn't the best. And one thing you guys have to understand is how to pivot. The biggest thing is how to pivot because shit is going to happen. You're going to have times where your business model is going through the roof, and you have sometimes your business model isn't really working like that. So you have to understand how to pivot so you can still make money, so you can still have your properties occupied. So with that being said, I stopped doing the Airbnb model, and then I had units that I was trying to rent out. But the problem is the amount that I wanted to charge in rent, I couldn't because that area did not allow, I don't say did not allow, just people didn't want to pay that amount for that area because a lot of my properties aren't in bright downtown Philadelphia. They're in, more urban areas. So with that being said, I couldn't charge the crazy amount that I wanted. So now I'm like, damn, I want to make more money like I was doing when I was doing Airbnb, but I can't do Airbnb anymore. So what can I do? So I tried to rent out for the higher amount, really wasn't getting the numbers that I wanted. So what I did was one of my good friends, he mentioned to me the VRBO and Furnish Finders model. So Furnish Finders is when people like traveling nurses, other people stay at your place, they rent it for a couple months, doing for, let's say they're coming in for a job. So I put them up on both of those websites. And I'm gonna get into the details with these. Now I started getting people that are requesting to stay for 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. And I'm like, oh shoot. And the good thing about VRBO, it pays you up front. So now when people stay for 30 days, 60 days, you're getting that money up front. You don't have to chase for that rent. And I'm gonna give you the back end behind it too. So now I'm like, I get the paid up front and I charge more than what the market rate would get. So it's a win-win for me. And also the difference with that, I think I did not like about Airbnb, if people staying for 2 nights, 3 nights, we had a lot of turnovers. So that means when people stay for 2 nights, 3 nights, we got to clean, get them situated, and get ready for the next person. Even though I wasn't doing it, we had a team to do it. It still was something that I was overseeing. It's still something that we had to pay for. It's still something that we had to deal with. Now with VRBO, people stay for 3 months, 6 months, and they're in there. We'd have to clean every 3 days, clean every 4 days. And I loved that we're getting higher than what we would have got in regular rent. So it's a win-win-win for me. Plus, on top of that, I actually own my building. So we don't do the rental arbitrage where we rent somewhere, then rent it on Airbnb. I actually own my building. So my profit margins are way different regardless. That's why I got into the VRBO model. And the downside of VRBO, just like Airbnb, is that you have to have the place furnished. So the thing that I did, what I realized with VRBO, with Airbnb, you want to make it like super duper nice, maybe theme the unit, different things, which I've done it all. But what I realized with VRBO, there are more people that staying here for a job. It's a different clientele. They're not staying here for a little getaway weekend. They're staying for a job. They're staying here for a business reason. They're staying here for other reasons outside. I just want to go ahead and have a little weekend in Philadelphia. I want to have a little, girls' night. I want to have a little guy, like whatever it is. They're not those type of clientele. So it's a different type of clientele. So they just want a nice place to stay with Wi-Fi and all the amenities that they need. So what I did was I went to Facebook Marketplace, bought couches and stuff from there for super duper cheap, $100. I went to my aunt's house, my grandma's house, my mom's house, got little pieces from here, a painting, a chair, anything that I can get to really put together a unit where it wasn't like tied in together. Everything was matched, but it all came together nice. I had this guy that he shut down his Airbnb in Philadelphia for the same reason. I bought all his furniture off him for literally pennies because he just wanted to get rid of it. He wanted to get some of his money back. So these are things that you can do with Furnish Fighters. Go and get used things from different places instead of buying all new furniture. That way you're not spending an arm and a leg. So you can literally furnish a unit between $1,000 to $2,000. I'm talking about everything from plates, every single thing, furniture, chair, bed sheets, everything for less than $2,000 if you, and this is for a 2-bedroom apartment, and if you utilize, you know, the used strategy, Facebook Marketplace, family members, Craigslist, you know, all different types of things, that's the best way to go. Now, the other downside with VRBO is that you have to pay the utilities, the water and electric. That's one of the reasons why the rent should be higher. Now, here's the hack, and this is what I do, right? People stay in my VRBO for 3 to 4 months, right? Let's say, for example, I have a unit where the average rent would be $1,200, but on VRBO, I'm charging $2,000, $2,100, $2,200. So now with VRBO, they also charge the person fees. So after they 3-month, they 6-month term, and now they're in there, I check the unit, everything looks good. It's not like they trashed the unit, they didn't do anything crazy. What I then go ahead and do is what my assistant does. Hey, look, listen, did you like their stay? Did you like everything? And they say yes. Well, okay, what we'll do is you were paying $2,200. We can lower you down to $2,050 or $2,100. The price ranges, but between $100 to $200 off, we'll bring you back down to $2,000, and there you can be a long-term tenant. What we do is we usually put them on a month-to-month or a 6-month lease, and now you can be a more long-term tenant where you locked in. The only catch is that we're going to put the utilities in your name. So we don't put any gas in our building. So they literally just had to worry about the electric, and we cover the water. The water is pennies, $40, $50 a month. So now think about this. I just turned a midterm rental into a long-term rental. I only could have got $1,200 by putting it on the market for everyday people to see. Now I'm getting $2,000. So I'm getting $800 more than what I should have got for market rent. I already vetted the tenant. So I basically got paid to vet somebody. I realized that they were good, and now they changed over. They liked the place because the job that they were working at, that term made it stretched out. They might be staying at this job for years. Like, things change. I had a guy that, and I had a couple of people where they came in for their job, and it was only in the job for 6 months, ended up turning into a longer term position. They end up staying there. I had someone else that actually stayed at this place because they got a new position at Philadelphia, and they wanted to utilize VRBO to test the area before they actually moved into something permanent. So you get different people for that come in for VRBO. So this is one of the things that I do. We go ahead and get people in VRBO. We get paid up front. We vet them. We see how the 6 months go, to 3 months go, to 2 months, however long they stay there. And then we offer them for $100 or $150 discount to turn them into a permanent resident, and then now a permanent tenant. And then now we have that tenant locked in, but now we got it at a higher rent rate than we would have got for we had it on regular market rate. So these are the things that I do, why I don't do Airbnb no more, and why I do VRBO, and how we capitalize on VRBO on the back end, and how we actually go ahead and get the units furnished for super duper cheap. So hopefully this is something that can help you guys, and you guys can make $2,000+ a month by utilizing this strategy with some of your apartments or homes that you guys have. So look, make sure you guys like and subscribe, and make sure you guys share this out with somebody that actually has apartments that they think about starting, or they have apartments that's empty. This may be a good strategy for them. Let's get it.